Yo guys, Kieran Hedley here. So today we're going to look at good posture, what good posture is, how to make sure you've got good posture so that you can ensure you're not getting any unnecessary injuries that could be prevented, and doing so as well will help with any current injuries you may have, as this will put you in a better position to be able to do any sort of everyday movements. And it's something that you really should start being mindful of as well, as this will really help you out overall and give you a better quality of life as well. You may feel even stronger as well because you'll be in a good position to be able to perform better movements. So it's just something to be mindful of. Anyway, let's get on to the video. Let's go.
Everything changes.
So, first thing, what is good posture? Alright, we're going to look at what good posture is. These are the things that you're going to look for. You're going to stand in a mirror and you're going to have a look to see if this posture is matching yours as well. So essentially you should be able to draw a line all the way from your earlobe down to the lateral head of your delt or the side of your shoulder. So your earlobe down to the tip of that bone. And then you're going to come all the way down to your hip bone. Alright, so just that top point, and then that's going to be in line with the side of your knee, just that little bone that's pointing out the side there, and then the side of the knee is coming down all the way to the ankle bone there, so just the bottom part of the ankle bone, that should also be in line as well. So that is the line of good posture, the line you should really be looking for if you're wanting to measure your posture against something. So if any of those areas are out, I'm going to show you from bottom through to the top how to exercise or how to perform certain exercises in order to help with your posture so that you can be positioned properly in order to have good posture. Alright, so first one. Okay, we're going with the knees and the feet. So if your feet are externally or internally rotated, or your knees buckle or bow, so these are the things that we're looking for here. If your feet are internally rotated and your knees buckle, then what you want to do is you want to do abduction exercises. So abduction exercises is going away from your body, okay? So a little something you can do is you can get a band, alright? Something with lighter resistance, probably even lighter than this. We're going to put it around our knees and then trying to keep our toes and our knees pointed outwards through the entire movement. We're going to perform a squat. As you can see, my knees are still pointed outwards, and that's going to strengthen the abduction muscles. So that's something you can start to perform and exercise before you get into any other movements if you're at the gym. Otherwise, it's something you can just do at home while you watch TV, right? So you just watch your TV doing your squats, you know, it's all good. Then the other thing we want to do is we're going to stretch out the adduction muscles, so the muscles in here in the groin. So tight hips is a pretty common thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a band with a little bit more resistance than this. It's just the one I have on me. We're going to put it right inside your groin, and what you're going to do is pointing your feet diagonally away from where the band is coming from, and we're putting our elbow inside our knee. We're just leaning forward, keeping our back straight. Feel a real big pull on the inside of the leg there, on the inside of the groin. Alright, we're going to stretch out that area, and to get even more of a stretch, we're just going to push against that knee with our elbow and lean down and touch the floor outside of our foot. Sorry you can't see this, it's just because of the shot. You're going to reach out and put your hand outside your foot and keep that back straight and the posture good. We're just going to stretch out the inside of the leg. Alright, and I want you to do that both sides. So that's with any internal rotation, so any internally rotated ankles or any internally rotated knees. You want to do abduction exercise. Now it's the opposite. If you've got bowing legs, you've got externally rotated feet, what you want to do is adduction exercise. So we want to do internal rotation, anything that's coming towards the body. So an exercise you can do, if you've seen this, is an adduction machine. So what you do is you sit on a machine, and basically your knees against these pads, squeezing your thighs inwards. This is going to create adduction. So you're strengthening the groin and the hip and all these adduction muscles. And then what you want to do again is a stretch for this. You can lie down, put your ankle on your knee, and just going to pull from your knee. Hold 20 seconds aside, and this is going to stretch out those abduction muscles, the externally rotating muscles. It's going to strengthen the internally rotating muscles, the adduction, right? Alright, so that's for the legs and the ankles. Now we're going to work on the hips. So the hips can sometimes be uneven. Some people stand like this. They're going to create an uneven hip. Like one side of the hip might be higher than the other, or vice versa, or even one hip might be further forward than the other. That's not going to be good, because when you perform certain movements, it can be particularly dangerous around the hip area. Lots of people get hip problems, hip impingements. This is something that you need to look out for. So if you're feeling really tight on one side of the hip, probably do have a minor problem around there. So one thing you can do is the exercise that I just showed you before, where you're going to put your ankle in your knee and you're going to put your knee towards you when you're lying on the ground. So you can perform that movement. That's a great one for the hip. And then another one as well, being able to perform a good mobile squat with good form and proper technique. So in order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to activate our glutes first. So glute activation, all you have to do is get a band with light resistance around your knee. You're going to bring one foot in, pull it out, vice versa. Feel an activation around your glutes, alright? And you're just going to repeat that. You're going to repeat that around about 20 times each side, and that's just going to create an activation around your glutes, around your bum, right? And then same again, you can do the squats with the band around your knees as well, and that's also going to help activate your glutes. So do these exercises before you get into a squat. Once you've exercised that particular motion, you can even keep the bands around your knees while you do a weighted squat. And then once you've done that, you can get into some squats, which I will show you now. So what you want to do in a squat, in order to ensure that your hips are in the right position, so that when you perform the squat, you're going to perform it properly. If you perform a squat properly, you're going to develop the muscles in a way where it will help rebalance the hips. So this is going to help create a balanced posture as well. So firstly, what you want to do is when you get to the top of a squat, you're going to squeeze your glutes really tight. You're going to tighten your core, so you bring your hips forward, all right? You want to bring the hips forward. What this is going to do is it's going to rebalance the hips before you perform the squat. Once you've rebalanced the hips and we perform the squat, you're going to have a much lesser chance of performing it incorrectly. So what we're going to do is, when you do that, squeeze your glutes and then perform the squat. And when you come to the top of the squat, again, squeeze your glutes, tighten your core, and then perform it. So remember to come through, squeeze your hips through and pull your hips through. This is going to put your hips in a better position so that when we perform the squat, we're going to develop the muscles the way they should be developed. So it's going to help rebalance the hips, rebalance the areas around there as well. Another thing with the hips as well is a lot of people are going to be lordotic. My trainer actually mentioned this in a video previously. Lordotic is when your lower back is hyperextended, when you've got lots of hyperextension around your lower back and your hips are all the way back. So this is very common for females because they do wear heels, creating that posture as well, so it becomes a habit. Two things are going to help this. Firstly, the squat technique I was teaching you, which is bringing your hips through before you perform the squat and just really strengthening around those glutes. And two, ab exercises. So we want to perform exercises around the TVA, which is a transverse abdominals. Transverse abdominals is what stabilizes your core. It's the inner walls of your abs, actually the muscles behind the abs that show when you see that six pack. This is also going to create tightening around the stomach, and it's said it's going to give you more of a tight lock around your waist. But what you want to do is, if you perform TVA exercises, you're just going to do something like a plank. You're going to get good posture, squeeze your glutes really hard. Don't go for time, go for posture. So remember, squeeze your glutes really hard, tighten your core, keep a good straight back, and just keep that strong as long as you can. Repeat it 2 more times. So do 3 sets of this, 3 sets of prone holds. This is going to create that strengthening around your abs and then help position your bum and your hips in a better position when you're doing this. Create more of a habit. When you're doing general everyday activities, you're going to have that habit of keeping in that good posture. This is one thing that you can do, one exercise that you can do for your abs. Another one is ab rollers. So again, this was mentioned by my trainer. What you want to do is you want to get on your knees. There's a little rolling machine. If you've got it at your gym, it's great. What it is it's 2 handles around a wheel. I don't have it on me, but what you want to do is on your knees, keeping a good posture. We're just going to wheel out as far as you can, where you feel safe as well. And then you're going to wheel back. You're going to use the lat muscles as well. So there's those muscles again running down your back, but it's also going to activate your core a lot as well. And that's going to really strengthen this area and hopefully pull your hips back through and into a better position. All right, so another problem is people with rounded shoulders. So I did this in the rotator cuff video, is you want to perform more externally rotating movements. So strengthen the external rotating muscles in the rotator cuff. So go to the other video, which I'll link right now. Click on that link and watch that video first before you watch this. This will help create more external rotation and therefore position your shoulder in a better position as well. So once you've seen that, you can start performing other exercises. So I want you to do things such as vertical and horizontal rows. What I mean is when you're doing a dumbbell row, so we want to come over, we want to keep our shoulders in a good position, tighten your lats. So basically tighten those muscles under your armpits, and you're just going to use a bar, pull it up to your belly button, keeping your shoulders from coming forward. So we're really trying to position the shoulders here, and we're just going to strengthen that area. So maybe go for a wider grip so that your elbow's not coming too far past your body. So once it does, shoulder does internally rotate, which is not what we want. So just keep it in a better posture. And then another one as well, we want to do vertical rows. If you're seeing the lateral pull down as well, we're just going to go with a neutral grip or wider grip, whatever feels more comfortable. Keeping your shoulder and scapula retracted, so in a good position. You're just going to perform reps. So we're going for 10 to 15 reps with these exercises so that we can ensure that we're going to work the muscles thoroughly and really strengthen those external areas as well. All right, another thing that can help along with rowing movements is we want to stretch out and massage out the areas that are actually tightening and bringing our shoulders forward, because general day life has us coming forward all the time, creating that poor habit and that poor posture. What we want to do is we want to stretch out and oppose those movements. So again, with the rowing movements, you want to do those, but you can use something like a tennis ball, preferably no, a tennis ball is not hard enough, something like a golf ball or a lacrosse ball, or even the end of a broomstick. You can really get that right up in there in the anterior head and the pectoralis minor. So what you want to do is you just want to massage out these areas using a ball, so like I'm doing now, and really roll over those areas thoroughly, either against the wall or again using the end of a broomstick or just anything solid, and really get into those muscles and just massage them out. This is just going to create more stretch around those areas so that you can really pull your shoulders back. So ideally you want to do this before you get into the rowing movements so that you can position your shoulder in a better position. And then another more obvious one, as the bicep tendon is attached to the shoulder, and we want to stretch out the shoulder, and we also want to stretch out the pectoralis minor, the upper portion of the chest. We're going to put a hand against the wall. It's going to stretch out. Feel that all the way through the top of your chest, through the through the front of your shoulder and then all the way through the bicep as well. Alright, now finally, once we've strengthened our shoulders and the posterior chain, which is all the muscles running down the back side of your body, we're going to look at the forehead as well. So the forehead can happen by itself. This is something that you more have to be conscious of, not really something that you can do so many exercises to help. But there are a few exercises that can help, such as doing things like face pulls, so getting a cable and attaching a rope to it and really pulling with lightweight, really pulling up by your ears. What this is going to do is it's going to create a stronger upper back. You're going to work the traps and the rhomboids as well by doing this. So this really helps as well. But again, it's really something that you have to be more conscious of, being conscious of bringing your head up, keeping that neck straight so that you're putting less strain on your head. Because remember, your head's a very, very heavy limb. So what happens is when your head is leaning forward, you're going to put a lot of strain on the back of your neck as well. You're going to get really sore and tight around there. Because it's so heavy, your neck's not meant to hold all that sort of weight. So you just got to be conscious of it, right? All right, to conclude this video, there's 3 important things that you just need to be conscious of. So one, and the most important one, that's why I'm mentioning it first, is just be mindful of your posture. You can do all the exercise you want, but if you're not mindful of your posture, you still sit down at your desk and slump over during your day-to-day activities. You're just hunching over, or you're just leaning over, or you're just standing improper, and you're just going to create those imbalances anyway. Then the exercises are going to help, but they're not going to fix the problem entirely. You need to be conscious about that up here until it becomes a habit. Yes, it's a nuisance. Trust me, it is an absolute nuisance to be always conscious of it, and it does get quite sore sometimes because your body's not used to it. That's the only reason. It doesn't mean it's bad. So we want to keep that good posture. It will hurt for a little bit and you'll eventually get used to that. So just be mindful of it and just keep a good posture, guys. Now tip number 2, we want to be stretching after our workout. So remember, if we're doing any pressing movements, we want to stretch out those pressing muscles. Your shoulder, even your tricep, we just want to stretch out those areas. Your bicep, even though it's a pulling muscle, it's attached to your shoulder. So these areas we really want to stretch out after we work out, no matter what exercise you do. It's going to help the muscles relax around the area a bit more. They're not so tight, so you can position your body back into where it should be as well. Even if you don't work out, this is something you can be doing. Just making sure that you're stretching every day, maybe every morning, 5 minutes in the morning before you start your activities or before you start your day. Even if you're doing this, I don't know, like 3 times a week in the afternoon, it's really going to benefit you and start to really reap those benefits. Making sure that you're stretching out those muscles that do really feel really tight. And now tip number 3, we want to strengthen the posterior chain. So all the muscles running around our back, we just want to strengthen all these muscles. What this is going to do is it's going to really open us up a bit more, and it's really going to help fix that posture as well. So we want to do things such as rowing movements, making sure that you're keeping good posture when you're doing that. So you can be doing exercise like deadlifts. This is more for the advanced, but this is going to again help that posterior chain. And another thing you can do is front squats. Having a barbell on the front in front of your neck along that bridge that your shoulders create, you're lifting your elbows up. So having the barbell there and just performing a squat, it's going to force you to keep your back upright. Otherwise, you're just going to drop the weight, right? So that's again for more the intermediate and advanced lifters. Something you can do though is hold a kettlebell or anything heavy up by your chest and perform that squat movement. So this is something that even a beginner can do. If you do that, you're going to want to keep your back upright, or you're going to get a lot of pain through your upper back. So this is going to force you to keep your back upright and your shoulders back when you perform that movement, and it's going to strengthen that posterior chain as well. Anyway guys, that's how to exercise good posture and how to ensure that your posture is correct. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope I helped you out a little bit at least. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you follow me on Snapchat, Hedley Fitness, alright? Just one word. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and cheers guys. Have a good day, stay healthy, Chur.